Hey, what is up guys, and welcome to my channel and for a new build for Stranger of Paradise. If you have been following my videos, then you would know that a summoner is still my favorite job in the game. Fighting as Bahamut is one of the most unique things in the game and I just love it. I had just recently made a summoner build before the new DLC was released, and now I have an updated and even more powerful version than before. This version is a lot more powerful and can melt bosses ridiculously fast. Since now we can have multiple summon blessings on an accessory, we get so much more damage output coming from Bahamut that is way stronger than what I had created previously. This build is very easy to create and it's very versatile as well. Tyrant was initially the best job for melee builds, but now we have so many other choices to choose from. With the new Hunter job, the Analyze skill is by far the strongest now for melee builds. With its 99 stacks, it can seriously be super powerful. I'm super happy that the summoner is still such a powerful job to use, so let's get right into the build. As for our main class, we are going to be using the High Summoner, and for the secondary we will be using the Machinist class on the Hunter. The Hunter is going to be the strongest choice for this build, but feel free to change it to whatever you like. Tyrant, Ninja, Cyclic Warrior, and my new favorite is still going to be using the Gambler most of the times. You can stack a lot of buffs from the Gambler and you do have a chance to get the Analyze skill from the Hunter as well as Imbue from the Tyrant together, so it can be a great option to use. You will just need to have luck on your side. The Gambler classes are also some of the best. With the Corsair, we can heal ourselves completely and even recover all of our lost HP. With the Trickster, we can literally break everything in one shot if we do happen to get the end ability to proc. Where there's just a small enemies or even bosses, it will 100% break them in a single hit. Still, it's all based on how lucky you are. Tyrant really is the best at chain cancelling. Even if you find yourself in the labyrinth and you don't have any ethers to refill your MP, with the Tyrant's near instant chain cancelling ability, you can get max MP in just a few seconds. You can see here I go in through a linked gateway, and with just chain cancelling alone, I reach near max MP before the boss starts attacking. No matter what job you may choose, the affinities you need are just the same. We get at least 400% Void Knight, so we can get increased potency in our MP recovery effects, and also reduce cost on our command abilities. 600% Samurai is actually really amazing to have on our secondary job. With this, you will be able to proc all of your parry effects whenever your combo ability effect is activated. I will go more into the parry effects that we use when we look at our accessory. 600% Summoner Affinity, and this is really amazing. With this, we can increase the duration of all of our buffs with a successful Soul Shield, and also we get increased potency on our Summon Blessings. And the final and the most important one is the 600% Cyclic Warrior. This will proc all of our Soul Shield effects whenever we activate Lightbringer. This is super important, so let me show you how it will all work out. Firstly, on using Lightbringer, we will proc all of our Soul Shield effects. This will give us the stacks from Bahamut, which will be used on both this and our main summoner as well. With the Leviathan Blessing on our Hunter, we can spam Lightbringer a lot of times and not lose a lot of max MP. With every time that you activate Lightbringer, the duration of all of our buffs will increase. This comes in especially handy when you decide to use either Gambler or even the Hunter job. You can have a lot of buffs active with the Gambler, and since the duration increases every time you use Lightbringer, you can have all of them active indefinitely. With the Hunter, your 99 stacks will go away if you either activate the ability again or if the duration runs out. So increasing the duration will ensure that you do max damage every time. It is really important to have 600% Cyclic Warrior and 600% Summoner on your secondary job. As for the stats on our gear, get improved effects on any of the abilities that I mentioned, whether it is Analyze, Enchant, or even Barrage. We don't really need any more cost reduction on our command abilities, since we won't activate them more than once because of the buff duration increase with Lightbringer. Then best to go for Luck, buff duration, or Lightbringer duration, and Soul Burst MP recovery. Now the accessory is where it's really important. We have 5 really important things on here. Enki Envy is just my favorite as it will add a debuff that will make the enemies take increased damage. We then have Shiva Summon Blessing. You may be wondering why I'm adding Shiva. Since I like to start my fights while applying Enki Envy, if I hit them from behind and with crits, it will apply the slow debuff, which can come in handy, but that's not really why I have this on. When you actually apply the slow debuff, and if you are using the ninja job with the Shadow Master class, you can actually replenish your tools with this. The slow debuff is actually considered a status effect, so you can regain your ninja tools with this. Then we have the Carbacon's Blessing. This will recover a lot of our MP on successful parries. Inky Envy is in the first slot, and most of the jobs that I mentioned have a combo ability effect in their first slots, which will trigger all of our parry effects thanks to our 600% Samurai. We also have the Alexander Blessing, which further inflicts a debuff which will reduce all the stats on the enemies on successful parries. Then finally we have the Bahamut Blessings, which will give us our soul shield stacks. They all come in really handy, especially when there are Dragon Trials and the Labyrinth. Here's a look at the master points for the secondary job. I'm showing the Hunter, but it's the same no matter what job you may choose. Now for the main summoner. We are using the high summoner class, and this will give us access to the Flare Breath, which we can use at the end of our combos. It is not super strong in this build in particular, but can still be fun to use. I will go over exactly how to play and combos to use with the summoner in the how to play section, so let's go over the affinities right now first. As I mentioned in my previous Sage build, there is no reason to go crazy with the affinities now if you don't want to. Getting just a single few and maxing them out is all you need. We have 1800% in Breaker. Breaker is the best affinity to use to stack up on a lot of strength. We get 1500% on Summoner itself. This will all come from the skill tree, and this will increase nearly every single stat that you have. Then we have 1200% on our Dark Knight. This will give us a lot of strength as well as intellect and even HP increase. Also, we get increased damage when the enemies are targeting us, as well as having all of our near-death effects active all the time. We have 600% on our Monk. This will increase our max health as well as giving us extra attack based on our max health. And finally 400% on our Knight, so we can have the Invincible skill. This will make us immune to all damage during Lightbringer. For your gear, we get as much as we can on damage dealt for summon. We then get combo damage bonuses for whatever weapon that you are using. These damage bonuses does increase the damage of Bahamut and its combo abilities as well. Since I'm using a greatsword, I have the greatsword combo damage on my gear, so add in the combo damage bonuses for whatever weapon that you are using. We then add in strength, intellect and your best damage bonuses like near death damage dealt or damage during Lightbringer. You could even go for more agility, as it will help with the damage and for the command abilities that we are using. Now for the main accessory, we are using the muscle belt, and this will give us the mantra skill. We already have this skill on our monk at 400%, and it can actually stack up twice to increase our max HP even further. Then for our summon blessings, we have Ramu to inflict paralysis onto the enemies, Odin to make all enemies take increased damage after a few physical attacks, and finally Bahamut for increased stats all around. For the command abilities, we have Lunatic for faster attack speed, Barrage for more attacks based on the agility that we have, and Mighty Strikes for overall increased damage. Here's a look at the master points for the summoner. That is everything that you will need to put this build together. Not a lot of affinities to make it complicated, keeping it very simple with just a select few. In order to play with this build, as you enter a fight, quickly proc all of your command abilities. Once you do that, firstly enter Lightbringer. Since we don't have cost reduction on our command abilities or any of our job abilities, we always enter Lightbringer to regain our MP before we use our job ability. So to go over it once again, we start with command abilities. Then enter Lightbringer to get MP back, after which we then use our job ability, whether it's Analyze, Roulette or Enchant, or even the Ninja. Then we just go into our summoner, or if you want, use Inky Envy first. Then it's just straightforward, just hit everything with Bahamut. Most people on my previous summoner build were unsure on how to do the combos on Bahamut, so let's quickly go over the combo route and how you can maximize your damage. You always start with one light attack and then go straight into your ability with R2, which should proc the dual cross ability. After that ability lands, you will then hit your forward attack, which is pressing forward on your analog stick and then your light attack. If you did it right, you will see Bahamut do a low sweeping attack. You can do that low sweeping attack up to 3 times. At any time you can press the ability button again and you will perform that dual cross. Then it's just very simple, you just go straight away into your forward light attack again, which is that low sweep, and then back into your ability. That is the basic combo route you should go for. I can't really demonstrate much since it's doing so much damage here, but this is a video from my previous build which shows clearly on how you can do the combo. That's basically it on how you will need to play with this build. Once you get the combos down, you can then work on your timing to get the most from your Ifrit blessing. No matter which secondary job you choose, you will do fine. Pick one that works best for you. Now here's a quick look at the monsters that I used. I have Deep for more strength and Monk affinity, Tonberry for more strength and Breaker and Dark Knight affinity, Jester for intellect and Void Knight and Sage affinity, Flan for more HP and Knight affinity, and finally Dawn for Gambler affinity and Evocation and Ultima affinities. Hope you guys enjoyed the build. It is a vast improvement to my previous summoner build and one of the strongest builds that you can use in the labyrinth. Let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear from you all. I will catch you all next time.